Hi guys, Dinner Lady here again. So I'm going to do a Sunday dinner. I went to the butcher's last week for some chicken breast, can't remember what it was for. And he had joints of beef on for £10, which I thought was really good, so I got one. And I thought we would have that today, just as a treat. We don't normally have beef. So I'll bring you down, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Right, so there's the beef joint. You can see it was £10 for all of that beef. It's the size of my hand. So I thought, right, I'm going to do that. We're going to cut it in half and put half in the freezer and just use half. But Ian's in full days, a couple of days this week. So I says, well, we'll just cook it all and then he can just take beef and horseradish sandwiches or whatever to work with him. So what we're going to have with that is my Yorkshire puddings. So we need some plain flour. I've got 2 eggs, some milk. This is the lactose-free for me. Don't use any milk you like. And some salt for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to have some roast potatoes, some carrot and swede, which I love, some broccoli, which was left over from what I did the other day, and I've also got some mushy peas in there. I've got the oven set to 200 just to start it off for the beef, and then we'll come back and then we'll get this started. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is tackle this beef. Now it has been out of the fridge for about 45 minutes just to bring it up to room temperature. Oh, I know rubbish. Try these ones. That's better. So I'm just going to get this out and I want to dry it off on a bit of kitchen roll. Don't leave it on the kitchen roll for too long because it will actually stick. And then you spend half an hour pulling up bits of paper. Just going to move that to one side for a second. Some more kitchen roll for the top. If I'd thought about it when I brought it out the fridge, I should have put it out to dry out a little bit as well, but it is what it is. See what I mean about it sticking? Right, so I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes getting off all this bits of paper. Right guys, so there's 6 minutes of my life I'll never get back. So, I'm just going to wash my hands and I picked it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to this dish to cook. A little bit of spray oil in the bottom. And there, spray oil on the top. Around the sides, front, so it's nice and evenly covered. And then I want some salt. And I want lots and lots of black pepper. When you think you put enough on, put a bit more. Beef and pepper are best friends. Just rub that in. Do the same for the other side. Sure you put it on the sides and have it on the front. There we go. Now you could put some halves of onions or anything underneath it as a bit of a trivet. I don't particularly like the taste of onions in the gravy. Not for this gravy anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in on 200, immediately turn it down to about 170 and just let that cook. Right, now for the Yorkshire puddings, I want to do it again. I know I've already done it before on the channel, but just to for people who may not have seen it, what I do is, to make them perfect, I put 2 eggs in a jug, and then I measure where that comes up to. So that's coming up to 100 millilitres there, and that goes in. And then I've cracked me thing, don't know how it's happened, but, and 100 mils of milk. Now if you do have whole milk, these will be even better. See, I'm a little bit restricted, so this does for us. 100 mils. Quickly wash that out. I am going to be putting the flour in there, so we don't want it all wet, otherwise you lose half your flour. There we go. Now a bit of salt. Now these won't be going in until after the beef comes out. So we want up to the 100 ml mark again with some plain flour. A little bit, not a touch more. So you get to level it, and there you go. Pop that in there. And that's enough Yorkshire pudding mix for me and Ian, and probably a couple of leftovers. Just give it a whisk till it's smooth-ish. Don't worry if it's got a few lumps in. When the flour starts to absorb the liquid, when you do it again later on, all the lumps will just magically come out. Right, so I'm going to get cleaned up and we'll get on with the veg. Right, so I'm just finishing off cutting up the swede. Into the pan. So I've just peeled and chopped that. I've peeled and took the tops and bottoms of the carrots. As easy as that. I don't like this big knife, it's a bit big for me, but you do need that little bit of weight behind you when you're doing root vegetables. Right, so I'm just going to turn you around. So, put that on there. And again, as always, me boiling water. I know it's controversial, but I don't see the point in doing that when I've got a kettle on enough to boil up for all of my veg. Right, so I'm just going to get on with the potatoes now. Right, so I've got my boiling water in there. Now, I just remembered the other day something that I used to do when I was doing roast potatoes, and because we did keto for over a year and started eating normally again, I completely forgot to put a stock cube, this is a chicken one, into the water to boil your potatoes. Just means you don't put any salt or anything in. Just put that in there. Let that dissolve. Right, now I've peeled the potatoes, so I'm just going to cut them. Now I like to have a few little sharp edges, so I like to do them that way. And for the big one, do it that way, and then that way. Just the way I've always done them. I don't know why. I just always have. and we're going to let these parboil for about 10 minutes in that water with the chicken stock into it. And let them parboil. There we go. So I've only now got left to do is the broccoli, and I'll come back when it's ready for that. Right, so the mushy peas are all done, so I've just decanted them out into a bowl just so I can have the pan for the broccoli. So I'm just going to cut these florets off and just cut them down a little bit. I'm not putting these in the pan straight away. Put them to one side because I'm going to use this as well. Cut off where it's a bit woody at the bottom. Look at that, it's perfect, there's nothing wrong with that. Just cut that bit off. So a little bit soft, that's why I'm moving these to one side. Just put that like that. And then cut down these ropey end bits here. Move them across. Just cut that in half. Look at that, beautiful. Tell you what's nice as well, if you parboil them and put them in with a potato salad, it's lovely. Right, so I don't want to cook them yet because there's still a little while to go, but I'll put the end bits in the pan, oh, and everywhere else, and I'll keep them to one side for now. So I think it's time to go and sit down and have a cup of coffee. Right, so potatoes are just steaming a little bit in the sink. I've just drained them off, and I don't know if you can remember the beef fat that I rendered a few weeks ago now. I'm going to pop some of that in there, and then I'm going to pop the tatties in. You see they've got a little bit of colour off that the chicken stock, if you can see that. And I'm just going to coat these, let the beef fat melt all the way around potatoes, and you're chuffing the edges up as you're doing this at the same time. Sorry about the scraping noise. But I'm just going to leave them on top of that for just a couple of seconds while I get my tray ready. Right, so I've got my tray there. One more, and you can see they're all nicely coated in that beef fat. It's going to bring you round. I've got my tray there ready. So I'm going to go straight onto there. And these will just, even if they go cold while I'm waiting for everything else, and these will go into the oven when I put the Yorkshire puddings in as well. Right, so for the Yorkshire puddings I'm going to use some of this beef dripping again. So I have this. I'm just going to put a little bit of beef dripping, so you have beef dripping Yorkshire puddings in the bottom. Go, and that's all ready as well. So I'll get cleaned up, and then I'm definitely going to have my cup of coffee. Right, so that's the beef, just getting it out. I'm just going to test it. Me and Ian do like it pretty rare, so that's 55. By the time it's rested, it'll come up to the right temperature for medium rare for what we like. Just going to cover it in a bit of foil and just let that rest. I've turned the oven back up a little bit to put the tin in for the Yorkshire puddings, and I'm just about to mash the carrot and swede. Right, so I've just mashed the carrot and swede there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some butter. and also some pepper. I do love pepper with carrot and swede. Now this will be far too much for me and Ian, so half of this will probably end up in the freezer for next time, once it's fully cooled. Same with the mushy peas. And even if we have too many Yorkshire puddings. Now put the Yorkshire pudding pan into the oven. That'll just stay there for now. And I've also put the roast potatoes in. So another 5 minutes for those. And then I think the fat will be hot enough to do them. Right, the alarm's gone off for the tray for the Yorkshire puddings. So I'm just going to get that out. Nice and hot. Take them off for a second. Yorkshire pudding mix. Yeah, that sizzle. There's a little bit left there, and that'll thicken my gravy because Ian prefers it that way now. Get these back in. Like I say, I've already put the roast potatoes in there as well. Get this back in. It's stuck a little bit. I use this one instead of the white one because that's what the beef's on. So anyway, about 12-15 minutes for those. Right, so the beef's rested, and that's all of the lovely juices that's come out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some boiling water in here, so I want all these scrapings up for the gravy. So just all these little bits. Just let that soak for a couple of minutes, and then them should all come off. Right, so I've got all as much off as I possibly can, so I'm just going to transfer these to the pan. In there. I'll just bring you around a little bit to the pan. A bit more water in there, and I'm going to get this brought up to the boil. The thing is about beef gravy. As I don't mind just dipping a bit of bread in it. Right. So in with an oxo cube. And then bring this up to the boil. I want it nice and beefy. And when it's up to the boil again, we'll put in more watered down Yorkshire puddings, and then that will thicken it up. Just going to get the Yorkshire puddings out. It's a new tin that I bought, and I don't think I'm that keen on it, to be perfectly honest. I don't seem to have come out as well as what they normally do. And it's the same recipes that I always use. It came right, they did roll right up, and then as soon as I turned them round, it literally just flopped down. But hey ho. So everything's just about ready now. The roast potatoes are still in. Just going to pop a little bit more water in here just to get some extra gravy. And as soon as this is up to the boil, like I say, we'll put in the Yorkshire pudding mix to thicken it right up. And if there's any more juices coming out of here, pop that in. Yes, very red. We do like our beef quite rare. If you don't, just cook it longer. I mean, the end bit, the smaller bit, that'll be well done. It's just the bigger end that'll be nice and rare for us. Right, so I'll wait until this comes up to the boil, and then we'll put the stuff in. Right, so I just thought while we're waiting for that to come up to the boil, we can check the roast potatoes, which are looking lovely. Just gonna turn over. It'll not be long, I don't think. want to move. Right, back in. Right, this is just starting to come up to the boil now. If you can see. So it's the eggs and the flour in this that thickens the gravy up. Just leave that until it comes up to the boil. Oops. Right, so that's coming up to the boil there now. All I'm going to do is put in a little bit. See it thickening up already. Put in as much as you want. It depends on how thick you like your gravy. We like quite thick gravy and lots of it. There we go. And a bit more. I think once that comes back up to the boil, it'll be lovely. Oh, do you know what? How many times have I done that today? Get that one out. Somebody once said that that's what that's for at the bottom of there, but I find that it just drips everything all over your cooker. Right, so I think that's just about done. Just waiting for the roast potatoes, and then dinner's just about there. Get Ian to carve the meat, and then we can have some lovely Sunday dinner.
Look at that. Look at the pinkness of that beef.
I know if it's not to your liking, just cook it a bit longer, but that's exactly how we like it.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to pop some gravy on. Do you want it on your beef as well?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Right.
I'm just going to put some... God's sake.
We've both got the dropsies today.
Horseradish. Got to have that. Oh. I'm just going to recover this off the floor if I can get down on it. Keep an eye, man. 58, you think I was 108? Jeez, man. Right. Okay. You know what time it is? Triple T time. Taste testing time for Betty. And look at that beauty. I've got to try that beef first.
Yeah. I'm seeing it's a treat we never hardly ever had.
I just love how that's cooked, look. It's just, for us, that's perfection. Like I say, man said, if you want a bit more well cooked, then do so, cook it for longer.
I don't think you've got the right knife, like.
No, I don't think I've got the right knife, but hey. Bit of horseradish on there. That's good. Really good. Bit of veg. Got some of that up. Wow. That's good too.
The broccoli stalks.
Broccoli stalks with some sweet and carrot. Lovely. That's good as well. Of course, the mushy peas. It's just a tradition of ours that we have mushy peas. You don't have to have them if you don't want. You put what veg on you like, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you know? Look, you seen that?
How did you miss that mouth?
Exactly. I don't know how it missed my mouth. Jeez. Right, roast potato.
I'd be hot mind.
Potatoes! Lovely. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
They're red hot. Red hot. And the little flat Yorkshire puddings, man's bought a new tin, but I'm sure they taste fine, they just
No,
don't
it tastes
rise.
exactly the same as what they normally do. They rose right up. They were about that big. And then all of a sudden they just went in the oven as well. I didn't open it, it just went whoop.
Still nice, still good. Still tastes good, that's all that matters. I'll have one more bit of beef before we finish. That beef is just sublime. So you got that from the butcher's, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think I need a steak knife.
yeah, I think you do.
But that is just yummy, yummy, yummy. Absolutely spot on.
Dribble all the way down his tummy.
I don't believe it. The one time I don't put my apron on because the football's going to be on tonight, look. Right, okay, well that's the comedy moment over with. So,
Yeah.
thanks for watching.
You're gonna go and watch. I have the rest of this, and then like.
Well, I'm gonna make a pud out of.
Yes, you are.
So it's only a light pud though. I might get some Mickey taking for it because it's got tofu in it.
It's lovely.
It is nice. So yeah. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Keep the comments coming. Keep liking. Keep subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, it doesn't cost anything. And we'll catch you very soon. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. England on tonight. Come on, England. Let's have it.
See you later, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.